Peace, family. So grateful for your presence. We are wrapping up this session about what all plans you have for 2024. We already talked about ditching your oils. We got into semi free-forming. And now I want to spend some time talking to you about color. Because a lot of you said this year you want to kind of dip your toe into the world of hair coloring. And if my previous videos have not scared you away from it, maybe this conversation will do the trick. And I already know what you're thinking. What is this pot doing calling the kettle black? But hear me out. Before we jump into today's conversation, I wanted to invite you to the first live event that I'll be doing in 2024. If you are in the Maryland, DC, or Virginia area, make sure you head over to locslive.com so that you can grab your ticket and meet me probably next Saturday, depending on when you're watching this video, for our first loc meetup. And it's not just going to be about locks. We are going to be covering hair care, making our own products. We're going to be having some consultations, some microscopic analysis, and some DIY things that you need for home care. So if you are in the DC, Maryland, or Virginia area, or hey, you want to travel to come kick it, definitely head over to locslive.com. And I'll leave the link down below this video. So getting into this conversation around coloring your locks, I had a lot of thoughts with coming into this video because it's supposed to be a tip. And I was going to talk about how a lot of locticians and stylists don't know how to color locks, but then, box color and DIY, just grabbing it at your house. So then I was like, well, let's talk about the gift and the curse of color as somebody who has colored their own hair DIY, and as somebody who has been professionally trained on coloring and has had colored locks for a while, just to give you the behind the scenes. So I think that's what we're going to do today, but definitely if you have questions about color, before I even get into it, definitely make sure you drop them in the chat. And if you yourself have colored locks, please share your experience in the comments. From where I'm sitting, as someone who has had blue locks, pink locks, purple locks, orange locks, teal locks, I think that's about it. No, red locks, the burgundy color that I just came from. I've had almost the entire rainbow, and what I can tell you is that it's not worth it. It is not worth it, y'all. There are so many options that are available for coloring your hair now. You can do lock sprinkles, you can do yarn wraps, you could do lock clip-ins, you have lock jewelry, you have lock spray. Please do not do any hair color wax, but there are other ways that you can color your locks or just add a pop of color without having to go through the coloring process. Coloring your locks, one thing I think people tend to forget is that once you color your locks, your hair is always colored. So I see people like, oh, I'm just going to bleach my hair and I'm gonna get this fun color, but then I'm just gonna go back to my natural color. Yes, I've gone back to my natural color, but underneath my hair is still colored. There is nothing like your natural melanin. Like, they can try to duplicate it, make synthetic versions or box colors of medium brown, but it's nothing like the medium brown that comes from your hair naturally. Okay, that color, your natural color, just has the most strength. So you're always battling your hair breaking off when you color your hair. So you're constantly having to do treatments, you're constantly having to assess whether, oh my gosh, is this natural shedding or this is breakage and my hair is starting to thin. Like, you're always looking at those things. When if you haven't colored your hair, you're like, I just want to skip the hydration treatment. I'm not even gonna worry about it right now. Somebody that has colored hair, my clients will tell you there ain't no skipping. I know you feel like, oh, I don't want to do it. I don't got the time. Maybe I don't have the money. Listen, you better go ahead and invest in your treatment so you can do them at home, because it is no skipping the treatments. So it is a big cost investment, it is a time investment, in addition to just settling on the right color. I've gone through that spectrum of colors because I had to find the color that resonated with my outfits, my skin tone, my vibe. And a lot of people who like, oh, I just want to color my locks and go straight into the deep end and color their whole head, or they get a lot of locks. If all of what I'm sharing and what I've shared before in that previous video don't deter you, or you're still like, I want to color my hair, please start small. Start with a couple of highlights, Okay, don't go full force into the color, okay? Because what if you don't like it? What if it's not something that resonates with you? What if you get it and then as it starts to grow out, you're like, dang, the maintenance. And then also think about one of my reasons was like, I am getting to an age, particular age, where I might start seeing some silvers. Maybe they'll pop up sooner or later. But if you've colored your hair, the only way your hair is going to naturally progress through having silver hair is for you to keep cutting it. So then you colored your hair, now it's turning silver. The melanin is not going to naturally fall out of the artificially colored hair. So now you got to cut it out to catch up with your silver hair, or you'll just forever be coloring your hair. So it's just something to think about as you go into this year, considering coloring your locks. Hopefully this gave you some insight into the process. Please know that you don't need bleach to color your locks. This is not a requirement, okay? So don't let these professionals fool you and tell you you have to use bleach. And if there was anything that was not answered in the video about color, definitely feel free to leave me a comment and I will do my very best to answer it in a future video. As always, I'm wishing you peace, love, and good.